when the infidels opened the thrice-cursed gate to Jahannam, releasing Gog and Magog upon those who believe, it seemed that all was lost, and Shaitan would emerge victorious over Dunya. This was the fate many of the Muslim nations believed would befall on them after the Hellgate was unlocked and the forces of Gehenna were released unto the world. But the Creator of the universe came to the aid of the faithful, providing them with the defences they need to withstand these demonic forces. And, as had been written, the great iron wall of Zulkarnain manifested itself in the lands ruled by the Sultan of Rum. The great wall was a gift from on high. The Almighty had sent a sign to all the faithful. He had not abandoned them, and they would use the divine gift to hold the tide of hellish forces back. These iron gates would not buckle. This iron wall will not break. These are the faithful of Allah, the defenders of the iron wall, the Sultanate of the invincible iron wall of the two horns that pierce the sky. Welcome back to the world of Trench Crusade, and welcome to the faction of the Iron Sultanate. After the act of ultimate heresy, the forces of hell overwhelmed the Levant and began to expand in every direction they could. While the Christian Crusaders battled them on one front, that is not who we will focus on today. In the east, another force was at work. The Almighty had intervened, and as the heretic hordes ravaged the Middle East, the prophecies were shown to be true. With the divine intervention of the Great Iron Wall of Zulkarnain, this great wall blocked the demonic forces' advance and created a safe haven behind its armoured turrets and impenetrable walls. This took place in the lands ruled by the nation known as the Sultan of Rum, which, due to dire circumstances posed by the war, quickly became the Iron Sultanate and began efforts to save as many of the faithful as they could. A call was sent out, refuge from the hellish armies for all those who faithfully believed. This began a mass migration as millions ventured out to seek safety behind the impenetrable defences. Over the coming decades, the migration of the faithful, second only in importance to the Hijrah of the Prophet himself, took place across Europe, Asia, and Africa. As these faithful attempted to reach the safety of the Sultanate, they were hit from every angle by heretics, and all who followed the cursed leadership of hell. Millions perished on the road and at sea, where the heretics and their Shaitan lords swarmed them. These heretics and demonic beings devoured them and built vile monuments and statues from their remaining limbs. This was not only an act of barbarity, but also an act of unimaginable cruelty, as they now could not be buried as is decreed in the holy texts. These disturbing monuments still stand in the wastes of no man's land and in the heretical dominions beyond the wall. But once all those who survived the journey had come, the mighty gates of Al-Karnain were closed, and the great Sultanate of the invincible iron wall of the two horns that pierced the sky was formed. Since the closing of the gates, the assault on the Iron Sultanate by the slaves of Jahannam has never ceased. Each day tides of heretics and demons fling themselves up on the wall, and like the tides against the cliffs, they break. And each day new martyrs are mourned as they defend the wall and confront any heretic that manages to overcome its defences. However, despite the constant conflict and danger, within the walls lost knowledge flourishes and new weapons are being discovered, engineered, or innovated. Upon while, the mosques of white marble and shining gold hold the faith with their muezzin calling the faithful to pray for the continued success of the Sultan's army as they struggle to push back the forces of Gehenna and to protect the lands outside and within the walls. Though the gates of the Iron Wall are closed, this does not mean they are disconnected from the rest of the world. They require a great many resources in their mission to uphold the Great Wall. For this reason, the armies of the Sultanate are also sent out to defend the vital trade caravans, the lifeblood of the Sultanate, as they provide the Sultanate with vital trade goods. From the towers of New Antioch to the walls of Constantinople, there is no defensive work that comes even close to the Iron Wall, a mighty bulwark festooned with the famed artillery of this Sultanate, providing a near-endless lead barrage against the heretic forces entrenched outside. Alongside the artillery, azeb shout shooters stand at the ready, rifles in hand, and ever watchful for the cunning surprise attacks that the heretical forces launch at the most unexpected of times. There are barracks at set intervals throughout the wall. These house the janissary regiments. They are always near and ready to assist in any breaches or to venture beyond the walls. They are a quick reactive force. However, if a serious incursion occurs, it is not on them alone that the Iron Sultanate relies on. If a major breach occurs, a full muster of azebs is summoned, enough to counter any attack the heretics can force through. Along with them, the House of Wisdom unleashes terrifying Takwin creations upon the foes. And, if the need is truly desperate, the Sultan himself rides out to battle, and alongside him, his janissaries, carrying the green flag of the Prophet before him. The wall has been the main focus of the Sultanate's way of war. It is the core of their defense and the primary base of their offense. Their methods and strategies all circle around it. The conscripted azebs are experts at feigning flights and skirmishes, having the wall to rely on and to fall back on in times where it's needed. They use the wall as a piece in every one of their fights. While the loping lions of Jabir harass the enemy flanks, all the while the superb artillery of the Sultan bombards the enemy as they make the torturous journey across the battlefield, which has already been littered with traps and weapons from the elite and skilled sappers. If the enemy even manage to pass this first wave of defense, only then will they finally reach the ranks of the faithful janissaries, the elite troops of the Sultan himself, who then close in and finish the enemy off with devastating countercharges, led by their iron-willed officers. They do not only rely on their might of their standing army alone. The dreaded assassins of alamut prowl in the winds of time. Near mythical beings who strike deep in the enemy lines, killing enemy elites and leaders, and vanishing as quickly as they appear, all while the mysterious alchemists of the House of Wisdom work on deadly weapons, which they can release upon the heretic forces. Devastating weapons made deadly by their elemental mastery, capable of overcoming the defenses of virtually any foe. Much of the old world lies beyond the wall. While the Sultanate remains secure behind it, small mobile companies are sent to operate in the wastes of no man's land. These small elite teams each have their own individual missions to accomplish, whether it be to sabotage the demonic war machine, assassinating key figures in the hellish court, or hunt down apostates that have gone to serve Shaitan, look for relics of the prophets, or to seek and recover lost treasures and books of ancient knowledge from the fallen caliphates. The Sultanate sees itself as the true resistance against the wrath of hell, and believe their God is the one truly helping humanity defy the will of the devils. Though there is an understanding between the Church and the Sultanate, as they are both co-belligerents against Jahannam, this does not stop tension between the two faiths, as the commanders of Sultanate's expeditions will not tolerate any interference, and do not hesitate to crush any who would choose to place themselves in the way of their holy missions, and hindering their progress. There is a deep resentment within them against those of the Church, as to them, these were the ones who released Gog and Magog, and they are just as likely to duel a faithful fighter to the death than work with them to defeat the heretics. The mighty army of the Sultanate has a complex structure and is compiled of a vast and varied number of units. Let us begin with the ground units and the backbone of the army of the Sultan, the azebs. The Sultanate's territories are vast, enabling it to raise numerous armies from its many provinces. In these regions, one household in 20 is obliged to arm and equip a soldier to serve the ruler of the faithful. These soldiers are commonly known as azebs, their term meaning unmarried, as only single men are eligible. Those with families are exempt from this duty. Azebs function as light infantry on land and sea, and are also responsible for defending the Great Iron Wall against assaults by the heretics. When elite forces are dispatched beyond the wall on missions to strike the enemy or recover sacred artifacts, the Sultan's recruiters call for volunteers. Despite the perilous nature of these expeditions into no man's land, many azebs willingly step forward. These missions offer the prospect of earning fame and the opportunity to acquire valuable loot, making them an enticing challenge for many soldiers. The weaponry used by the azebs varies significantly, as they lack access to the superior arms, armour and alchemical innovations reserved for the Sultan's elite troops, such as janissaries or cataphracts. A hallmark weapon of the azebs is the jazale, a long firearm with a distinctive curved stock. These weapons are handcrafted, resulting in considerable variation in their designs and quality. Jazales are deeply personal to their owners and are often intricately decorated. They can fire a wide range of ammunition, including roughened bullets, long iron nails, or alchemically treated fragments from the Great Iron Wall, making them highly adaptable and less dependent on the traditional ammunition supplies. In addition to jazales, azebs carry other weapons, such as a curved dagger, scimitars, pistols, and equipment suited for sappers. Armour, however, is a rarity among them. Since azebs are primarily deployed as light skirmishers to harass and tie down enemies, while heavier troops deliver decisive blows, the superiors see little value in providing them with costly protective gear. This lack of armour contributes to their high casualty rates, but the belief in paradise for those who die in service to their faith ensures a steady stream of replacements. The wars in the trenches are particularly cruel, and many azebs meet tragic ends. Those who survive often return physically or mentally broken. Yet, the allure of glory, the hatred of the heretics, and the chance to return as heroes, laden with gold and thrilling stories, continue to attract new recruits. No matter the dangers, the Sultanate never lacks for willing azebs eager to risk their lives for faith, honour, and the promise of reward. Sappers form a vital part of the Sultanate's standing army, tasked with safeguarding the Great Iron Wall. As volunteer conscripts, they serve in the Underground Corps, a specialised unit dedicated to countering the relentless efforts of the heretics to undermine the wall's mighty foundations. Deep underground, in the stifling darkness and choking dust, these soldiers engage in fierce battles to thwart the blind, clawed beasts the heretic use to dig tunnels into the Sultanate's realm. Many meet their end in ambushes by heretic assault squads or perish in devastating cave-ins, where the slow suffocation of being buried alive is a grim reality. Here, warfare is brutal and unrelenting, fought with fire, bullets, poison gas, and devious traps that turn the labyrinthine tunnels into deadly battlefields. Recruits who survive a year of this harrowing journey emerge as hardened veterans and are promoted to the Sapper Corps, allowing them to serve above ground. These seasoned fighters are renowned for their extraordinary courage and composure under the most intense of enemy bombardments. Having endured the horrors of subterranean combat, they view every day under the open sky as a blessing from Allah. Above ground, they operate the legendary Sultanate's great cannons, which have repelled countless heretic warbands and minions of Shaitan. Though often at a terrible cost, sappers are easily recognised by their scarred and burned bodies, which they bear with pride as marks of their valour and high status. When deployed beyond the wall, sappers frequently carry out experimental weaponry such as brazen shotguns, and are instrumental in both defending and capturing trenches. They also prepare fortified positions for advancing Sultanate forces. Their expertise in explosives is unmatched. They excel at disarming enemy devices and deploying the ingenious Tuffengief anti-personnel mines. These mines are strategically placed to slow enemy advances, buying time for the Sultanate's artillery to wreak havoc on the disoriented and vulnerable enemy forces. The ingenuity and resilience of the sappers makes them an indispensable element of the Sultanate's military might. The janissaries are the Sultanate's elite warriors. Raised from the childhood in the arts of war, captured during raids against the desolate northern and eastern marches beyond the Iron Wall, they are subjected to rigorous martial training and indoctrination from an early age. Through spiritual and alchemical means, bound by chains unseen, their minds are carefully conditioned until they attain a complete and unwavering loyalty to the Sultan and to him alone. Their physical attributes are augmented by potent elixirs created by the mystic's jabirine arts. Their ornate armour is forged from the metallic formula that the alchemy of the Sultan gleaned from the very iron wall that protects the Sultan from their enemies. These soldiers are also protected by the powerful talismans crafted by the blind thaumaturgists from the school of meteoric omen. Armed with Jazelle rifles, hand mortars, Yakutan blades, and devotion carved upon their very souls, the janissaries are formidable opponents indeed. On the battlefield, janissaries excel at storming enemy strongpoints and trenches, crushing elite formations, and acting as the bodyguard for high-ranking officials. Though the Sultan uses them sparingly beyond the wall, since they also are from his personal bodyguard, some janissaries are sent to the front line to bolster the cause of the Sublime Gate. In the middle of the mud, blood, and dust of the trenches, their richly decorated panoply of war creates a beautiful and frightening spectacle as they charge the enemy lines, with total conviction that paradise awaits those who fall in righteous battle. Military expeditions beyond the Great Wall into the perilous expanses of no man's land are fraught with danger. Commanding these missions are field officers, known as Yuzbasi, chosen solely based on merit without regard for lineage or wealth. Many of these skilled leaders rise to the ranks of elite janissary corps, earning their positions through valor and capability. The bodies of the Yuzbasi are enhanced by the alchemical arts of the jabirine scientists, and their minds are conditioned by mystics to remain steadfast in the face of the enemy. However, this mental conditioning comes at a cost, an unyielding disregard for pain, and an icy ruthlessness on the battlefield. To them, casualties, whether among their own ranks or the enemies, or non-combatants, are viewed through a lens of cold pragmatism. Is it not righteous, after all, to send heretics to Jahannam while fallen warriors awaken in paradise, as promised? Under the command of powerful Pasha, Emir, and even the Sultan himself, the Yuzbasi leads elite squads on critical missions. These tasks might involve reclaiming sacred relics lost during the catastrophic period when heretics stormed the Levant, or assassinating powerful adversaries, such as heretic nobles who once swore fealty to the Sultan, but turned against Allah. Yuzbasi are equipped with the finest equipment. Their armour, forged from meteoric iron, is unparalleled in durability, while their carbines are gilded with silver and loaded with alchemical shot. They wield kill-edged swords that bear inscriptions in golden calligraphy recounting the deeds of past Sultanate heroes. Those who distinguish themselves in service to the Sublime Gate may have their own names and exploits etched into these legendary blades, inspiring future generations. The most powerful Yuzbasi carry devastating hand cannons that double as halberds, combining firepower with brutal close combat capabilities. Exceptional hunters wear cloaks made from the pelts of their gracious kills, such as chimeras, which also protect them from the sinister powers of Shaitan. Triumph on the battlefield brings Yuzbasi great rewards, including the Sultan's favour, honours, and lavish gifts. They receive weapons forged from Damascus steel, abundant gold dinars, and access to the extraordinary inventions and creatures of the jabirine alchemists from the House of Wisdom. Hunting is a revered tradition among the officer corps, and artificial birds of prey and automaton hounds are often included in their arsenal. These mechanical marvels are not only symbols of prestige, but also formidable tools of war, accompanying the masters to the front lines to ensure victory. Beneath the golden gardens of Damascus lies a labyrinth of marvels. Through the cavern of the sleeper and beyond the 7 gates of potentiality are the sprawling laboratories and metaphysical factories of the alchemists. Here, the mystical jabirine process, known as Takwin, allows these master craftsmen to create artificial life, conjuring wondrous beasts and automatons that enchant the bustling souks and adorn the Sultan's grand gardens. Even deeper, beyond the 7 hidden gates of actuality, lies the most secretive and perilous sanctum of alchemy. In this shadowy heart of the complex, the art and science of Takwin reach their most advanced and dangerous form, producing the fearsome creations known as the Lions of Jabir. Despite their name, the Lions of Jabir are not conformed to leonine forms. Each one is a singular masterpiece, shaped by the skill and imagination of the jabbering scientists who bring it to life. This dark craft, drawn from the forbidden books of Solomon, is fraught with peril. Failed experiments often lead to catastrophic results, claiming the lives of many alchemists. Yet, the demand for these deadly creations by the Sultanate's army ensures the program endures, regardless of the risks. The process of creating Lions of Jabir is fraught with the complexity and unpredictability, leading to frequent malformed mutations. Though still formidable predators on the battlefield, many suffer from chronic pain caused by their physical deformities. The plight is even more harrowing for those gifted or cursed with human-like intelligence, as they grapple with the horrifying awareness of their unnatural origins and existence. In war, the Lions of Jabir are unmatched vanguards, their spirit and ferocity striking fear into the hearts of the Sultanate's enemies. The Sultan himself keeps a personal hunting pack of 77 massive Lions of Jabir, who guard him relentlessly and accompany him into battle. Some lions possess extraordinary abilities, granted by the alchemical process of their creation. Many are adorned with armour fused into their very flesh. Crafted from alchemical metals and inscribed with cryptic seals and sigils. These enhancements not only increase their lethality, but also conceal the flaws inherent in their creation, turning them into symbols of both power and tragedy. The siege guns and heavy mortars stationed along the wall's ramparts are unrivaled in their defensive power, but their size and weight render them impractical for smaller mobile expeditionary forces. Recognizing these limitations, Sultan Bayezid III, in the year of the Hijra, 1821, issued a decree on the creation of a new war machine, a living field artillery capable of accompanying his armies into battle. To fulfill this command, the jabbering scientists of the Royal Artillery devoted centuries to mastering the divine art of Takwin. Working in their hidden laboratories, they conducted countless experiments, often at great costs, acquiring invaluable knowledge along the way. Their efforts culminated in the creation of a masterpiece of warcraft, the Brazen Bull, known as Bogai to the Sultanate soldiers. The Brazen Bull is a monstrous being of unparalleled strength and endurance, capable of feats such as rending even the most fearsome devil spawn in two. Armed with heavy artillery, too massive for even the superhuman janissaries to wield, these creatures carry flame cannons, volley guns, and holy blades sanctified by the word of the Great Protector. Their weaponry ensures they are both devastating and versatile on the battlefield. Encased in magnificent bronze armour, crafted from the thrice-hardened scales, the Brazen Bull is further adorned with talismans of protection and the blessings invoked by the Creator's grace. Beyond the Iron Wall, these towering behemoths inspire awe and terror in equal measure. Fearless and unwavering, the Brazen Bull acts as both a walking fortress and an unyielding shield, serving as a rallying point for the Sultanate's war parties. Their sheer power is enough to shake the very ground with every volley, disrupting enemy formations even when their strikes do not find their mark. As a symbol of strength and ingenuity, the Brazen Bull stands unmatched among the creations of the Sultanate's alchemical art. The alchemists of the Great Sultanate of the Iron Wall are revered battlefield mystics and master artificers. Their knowledge, rooted in the enigmatic teachings of the Smaragdine Tablet and cultivated within the esteemed House of Wisdom, admission to their ranks is open to anyone with sufficient intellect and determination, regardless of gender. The path to becoming an alchemist is arduous and fraught with challenges. Aspirants begin with rigorous studies, immersing themselves in the Jabirine corpus, translating the ancient keys of Solomon, and mastering the fundamental disciplines of their primeval science. Only after 7 years of intense training under the watchful scrutiny of the high alchemagi may they attempt the 3 trials necessary for full initiation into the order. The first trial requires the aspirant to craft a suit of alchemist's armor, a vital tool for their trade. This armor, inscribed with the seals of Solomon, shields the wearer from harm, enables them to manipulate elements of creation, and protects against even the infernal devices of hell. The second trial involves the creation of a Taquin's servant, a homunculus, a creature of artificial life and intellect. The process demands meticulous adherence to the formulas, as well as precise timing and temperature control. After 40 days of labor, a successful creation emerges as a small humanoid creature with remarkable abilities. Its fluid-like body allows it to navigate extreme environments, enduring the searing heat and toxic fumes, to assist its master in delicate alchemical tasks. However, failure in this trial can be dire. A malformed and vengeful homunculus may rise, attacking its creator by burrowing into their body and consuming them from within, wearing their flesh like a macabre suit. The third and final trial is the opening of the aspirant's third eye, granting them cosmic insights into the building blocks of creation. This enlightenment allows them to achieve perfect elemental balance in their craft. Yet, failure at this stage is catastrophic. The third eye may grotesquely expand and fuse with the aspirant's original eyes, driving them into madness as they are overwhelmed by the horrifying truths now visible. Such unfortunate individuals often live in unending torment, their minds shattered, and are usually euthanized out of mercy. Though rumors persist of clandestine cabals keeping these failures alive for unknown purposes. Those who pass all 3 trials emerge as true masters of the alchemical arts. Alchemists wield the power to command fire and ice, manipulate metal and liquid, and construct intricate machines, artificial life, and devastating weaponry. In exchange for the freedom of pursuing their craft, they serve the Sultanate by creating unrivaled Jabirine battle lions and by fighting on the front lines. Armed with alchemical compounds capable of dissolving flesh and armor alike, they strike terror into the enemies of the believers, ensuring that the Sultanate's dominance through their unparalleled esoteric skills are assured. The Sultanate is not without its allies. Out in the depths of no man's land hides a city, an unconquerable fortress that trained the most elite units of believers. They are known by many names: ghost wolves, secret knives, subtle vipers, the Sultan's wrath. By any title, the assassins of the Sultanate strike fear into the hearts of even the most fearless. This legendary order of mystic warriors is renowned worldwide for their arcane skills and ruthless precision. Their stronghold is the ominous onyx fortress of Alamut, the Unconquerable, perched atop a foreboding mountain. Within its shadowy walls lie ancient secrets guarded by the magi of the order. Some whisper that Rashid ad-Din Sinan, the fabled old man of the mountain and founder of the Order of Hashashins, still reigns there. A claim dismissed as impossible, for such longevity would span nearly 8 centuries. Although the Ismaili sect of assassins is deemed heretical by many in the Sultanate, a long-standing pact between the Sultan and the mountain ensures that these peerless killers often accompany the warbands of the believers. Through sacred rituals and potent hallucinogens discovered by their magi, assassins wield the ability to manipulate space and time. This arcane mastery enables them to infiltrate enemy lines with ease, eliminating targets with unparalleled efficiency. They appear to be in multiple places, simultaneously striking with blinding speed and then retreating moments in the past, eluding any retaliation. All their efforts serve a singular purpose: the eradication of the Sultan's enemies through ritualized holy assassinations. This mission requires excruciating transformations. Their bodies are altered by alchemical unguents and potions, granting them towering height, extraordinary strength, and superhuman speed. Although skilled in the use of all weapons, assassins favor poisoned blades crafted in the hidden forges of alamut. These weapons are imbued with the supreme poison, also called the milk of Manat or the cup of death. A mere graze from these blades on unprotected flesh guarantees death, as the victim's body blackens and decays within seconds. In the labyrinthian, chthonic chambers beneath alamut, generations of assassins are raised on a vile and bitter diet laced with rare toxins. Over time, their bodies develop a profound resistance to these poisons. The blood of these assassins, enriched with their lethal heritage, is drawn and smelted into a venomous iron used to forge their weapons. These blades, wickedly curved and layered with deadly enchantments, are forged to perfection. Once heated to a searing red, they are quenched in the venom of pale hybrid creatures, offsprings of a basilisk and a manticore. In this way, the blood of the Order's first generations persists, growing deadlier with each passing era. Thus, the assassins of the Sultanate continue their grim legacy, blending mysticism, alchemy, and ruthless efficiency into a force that none dare oppose. In recent years, attacks on the Great Iron Wall have become more deadly, more heretics slip past sappers and janissaries alike, and more operations are conducted outside of the Iron Wall than ever before. It is up to you to lead the mighty believers and their great armies against the forces of the heretics, and to defend the Sultanate at any cost. This is the faction of the Sultanate of the Great Iron Wall. So yeah, that was the Iron Sultanate. Welcome to the post-credit scene. So yeah, these guys are definitely like my third favorite faction. Maybe more than the Trench Pilgrims. I'm not sure. I'm split between them. They're both very interesting. I just love how intricate all the designs are, and how their armor looks is just fantastic. And there's so much like history about the past caliphates and everything in the lore, and it's just so interesting to me. I really hope they expand on some of it, especially about Alamut, the assassins. I really hope they get like a story in the future where we hear about the attempts to conquer Alamut and like how they're able to defend it for so long. And I 100% believe that the old man is still alive. He's just 800 years old. If you remember that part, I definitely believe he's still alive. They better make him a thing. And now that I've finished this video, it is time to check the poll to see what you guys want next. So, as I am recording this, the Heretic Legion has won with 41%. So that means the next video will be the Heretic Legion, and I will put up a poll once this is up to get the next one, which seems to probably be the Cult of the Black Grail. Now, that then leaves the Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent after that. So, once I get through all the factions, if you guys would like, I would love to do some in-depth study into either individual units or some theory crafting, because I have a lot of theories about mostly paladins, because paladins are just the coolest thing in Trench Crusade. And if you would be interested in something like that, just let me know, and I'd love to make videos on them. But until that, I'm finished with the factions, it'll just be more videos like this. And thank you guys so much for the support for these videos. It's still blowing my mind, because as I'm releasing this one, the original video that I put up is on 36.1 thousand. That is more people than live in where I live. Like, that is more people than the entire population of my town, which is insane to me. So thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing, because as I'm recording this, I'm on 881. That is only 119 away from 1,000, which I never thought I'd get to. So thank you guys so much for that. It's insane. And thank you for watching the new videos about New Antioch and the Trench Pilgrims, though they have been getting less attention, but I feel that's more YouTube than anything else. They decided not to really promote my videos anymore. Oh well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.